Even though class has ended today, we did mostly finish our shopping cart, but there were a few cleanup items we need to do. So I'm going to clean up our order details and orders index, as well as make it so administrators can see all the orders. So here was the page as we left it. I'm going to clean up a few things. I'm going to hide the customer ID. I don't think we need it. I'm going to format the order total as currency. I'll rename this heading. I didn't realize I already have a heading that says order details. Maybe just change this to say items. We're going to fix the displaying of the product here, so it shows the product names. I'll right align these columns and also format this as price. I'll also clean up my order index a little bit as well. So in here, in class, we didn't have the product names showing. So if we then include, after including the child, we can then include the product as well. So I'm going to add this to my query in the details and save. So first we're getting the child, and then we're getting the parent of the child. And now in my details view, we'll change this back to item.product.name. And I'll go and refresh. Click on my order again. So now it shows me the names of the products. I'll clean up these other items, and then we'll fix up our order index as well. So on my quantity and price headings in detail rows, I want to align these to the right because they're all numeric values. So I'm going to add class of text right. To my two THs, my two TDs, I want to format with string.format and 0:C. I'm going to format the cost. I'm going to change my H2 to just say items. I also am going to format the total here. Format. Same currency format. I'll have to capitalize the M here. And I'm going to take out the customer ID entirely. So I just have date, address, city, province, postal code, and total. This should be better. So now my total's formatted, my price is formatted, and everything will be right aligned here. So there's our order confirmation. I'll also maybe add a display name in my order model so this shows as order space date. So I'll go to my Solution Explorer in my order model. I'll add an alias here that says display name equals order, and I'll put in a space. Save that. Just like we had a display name for postal code. So I should get a space in my label now. And because we updated the model, it also updates our orders index. So now I'm going to clean up some of the formatting on orders index. I'm going to add some formatting. write a line and format our prices. We can take out the customer ID. We want to show the order number, change the heading, get rid of the create, edit, and delete links. I also want to sort it. Right now, this will show from oldest to newest. I always want to see my newest orders at the top. So we're going to change the sorting in our index method. But let's open up the index view. I'm going to change the titles to say order history. Take out the create new link. I'm going to move the customer ID to be the first column. No, you know what? Actually, I can leave the customer ID here. It's okay. But what we will do is add one more heading. It says order number. We'll make that first. And inside of our loop, we want to add the order ID as the first column. Whoops, sorry, this should be our item.id, the item in our loop. The total, we're going to format as currency. I'm going to take out the edit link, the little pipe symbol after details, and delete. So I only have details. And I'm also going to add some classes here. We'll have table striped and table hover as well. So this page should look better now. When I refresh it, oh, and I also want to right align this column as well. So in our total, I'll add class equals text dash right. And I'll put it in the TD as well for total. So both the line items and the heading are aligned to the right. Cleans this up a bit. I also want this to sort in descending order. So I'm going to change the query. In the orders controller index, we're going to add order by descending. We want to show the newest orders at the top and the oldest orders at the bottom. So we're going to add order by descending to the index method. If I come back and refresh, help if I save my change. If I refresh, order number 2 should be first. So these are going to flip. There's one other thing we didn't do. I'm going to show you what happens when I make a new order, and then we'll also have to deal with this from an administrator perspective. Because this is great for customers, it's not going to work for administrators. They need to be able to see the orders too. I'm going to make a new order for just a minute. So I'll put a couple items in my cart. Check out. Continue on to Stripe. Pay for my order. So it's done my order, but my session variable showing that there are items in the cart, it's still here. So once we empty the cart, we need to set that session variable back to 0, right? Because in our header, remember, we're checking the session item count. If it's greater than 0, we're setting it every time we add to cart. Or each time we load the cart, we're setting it. So we want to set this back to 0. So once we check out, once we call save order and remove all the items from the cart, clear the session item count variable. So we're going to set our item count to 0. So once our order confirmation loads, we're no longer going to see any items in the cart. So I'm going to make one more order, and then I'm going to tweak the order index and order details to also allow a view for administrators who can see all the orders. So this will be the last order we make. We'll pay for the order. And now this time the cart is empty. So now I can see all 5 of my orders. My issue is, now if I log out, so there's 6 orders. This customer has made 4 orders. My customer 1 has made 1. But what happens if I log in with my administrator account? When we go to orders, we don't see anything. So we want to change the code in both index and details so that if the user is an administrator, they can see the orders no matter what. So I'll go back to my orders controller. So we're going to say if user.isInRole administrator else. So I'm going to move this. This is the customer code. That's going to go inside our else statement. So if their person isn't an administrator, just show them their own orders. Otherwise, we want to return the view. And we're going to have no where clause. We're just going to order in descending order. So it's basically the same code as below, just without a where clause. So the administrator can see everybody's orders. Doesn't matter what customer made them. Customers, though, they only see their own orders. So let's save that. And now as an administrator, if I refresh my list of orders, now I get everybody's, regardless of who made the order. I need to fix details because we've said on details as well, unauthorized if it's not the customer. So again, this is only if the user is not an administrator. So if not user dot is in role. If they're an administrator, we don't want this check because administrators can see everyone's orders. So this check only applies if our user is a customer and not an administrator. So as an administrator now, I can go into anybody's orders. Doesn't matter who made them. Go back to list, I can see everybody's. But as a customer, I can still only get my own order list and see my own orders. If I try to load someone else's order, I'm blocked. So now our cart is complete.